So welcome to today's Celebrity Branding Masterclass. JD Wildflower here. I am known as the Celebrity Brand Builder because I help celebrities and experts to build brand businesses so that they can scale to 7 or 8 figures and attract clients without burning out. And in today's class, I'm going to be chatting about how to attract clients and media features without burning out. And the burnout part is very pertinent because one of the things that I found in this day and age is that there's a lot of noise online in the entrepreneurial training space. And a lot of that noise and a lot of people that are out there that are teaching tactics and teaching different techniques on how to, everything from branding and marketing and outreach and sales and funnel creation and all that. Um, a lot of what's out there these days tends to be from people who are very much a fan of having a lot of moving pieces and taking a lot of time to have the same results. I'm just celebrating 25 years in business this month, actually. And I'm about efficiency. I'm old school in the interweb space. I have been online longer than Google. My company, VIP Global Media, was actually one of the very first web design and digital marketing companies in the country, in the US. So, I've seen it all. I really have. I've seen, the good, the bad, the ugly of online training, of, entrepreneurial development, sales training, all that kind of stuff. And I created my VIP Global Business Institute as a resource for entrepreneurs to really just help you learn the tactics and the techniques and the strategy, really work at achieving your business goals efficiently and quickly, because I know that entrepreneurs have lives too. So really that's the goal. And so today we're going to be focusing on how to start working to dial in the system of creating celebrity in your business to help just elevate your status in your industry. And now, just so you know, I am not one of those Hollywood types that's, all about, everything that looks good and vanity and stuff like that. To me, I approach the word celebrity from a business perspective. And all it means to me is that a lot of people know about your business. And that's a really good thing. But the thing is that we want the right people to know about your business. And we want the right kind of branding into your personal brand so that you're attracting the right kinds of clients and the right kinds of attention from people. So this is all very strategic in terms of how things are laid out and what my goal is with working with this whole concept of celebrity. Going to be a quick example here. Candy. I'm sure, what's the first candy bar that you can think of, just off the top of your head? I'm sure that is what I would consider a celebrity candy bar, meaning a lot of people know about it. And there is an evolutionary psychological content as a concept, as one of the basis, as one of my foundational components for why celebrity branding actually works. It's actually based on evolutionary psychology, because those that have of popularity or influence or leverage over a culture or a community have power in that world, have power in that community. And so there's actually an evolutionary psychological component really connected with creating celebrities. So yeah, and there you go. Those are celebrity candy bars. It's just how I look at it. It's not, celebrity isn't about an ego thing. I've worked with quite a few Hollywood celebrities and people who are doing, a lot in the world, who are very well known. And same thing for them. I mean, it's a business tactic, and it can be a really cool thing to when you have things, really just dialed in across the board. And really that's the goal with celebrity branding. It's to help you dial in across the board, into a strategy, an overall arching strategy that really helps you to convert. Because at the end of the day, it's not about millions of followers. When it comes down to it, that can be nice, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is what's going to convert for you in your business and what that means for you, what conversions mean for you. So I'm going to jump right in here and get started. So I'm going to start today with debunking the common myths about attracting clients and media features. Now, let's see here. A little bit bigger there. So one of the common myths is that media features automatically make you an industry celebrity and bring clients to you. This is false. Here's why. If this was true, okay, because I see a lot of things out there. Again, I have been in the online and advertising industry space, online and offline, for 25 years now. So I've seen it all. There's a lot of people out there these days that are touting, getting featured in the media as the way to create celebrity, as the way to get noticed, as the way to get leads, as the way to get conversions. I find that having media features can be a really good piece. It's a good component. It's a great tactic, but we can't rely upon only that. It's just a tactic, as in terms of it's a piece of an overall strategy. It's not a strategy. It's not an overall strategy for client generation. And so if it were, think back. Back in the day when Oprah was on every day, all of those people that were ever on Oprah ever, if being featured in the media, or even something on like Oprah, which is pretty big leagues, if that was enough to create industry celebrity and bring clients automatically, then every single person who's ever been on Oprah ever would be a celebrity. And it's just not the case, is it? And so that, for me, I'm also a marketing professor. I'll get in here into my background a little bit here, but my background is as a marketing professor for the last 20 years as well. So I'm always using critical thinking anytime I hear of things that sound flashy and fancy, because I've just been in the world of marketing and business development for so long. So, that's one of those things that I look at critically of when it comes to media. So the second myth that's out there is that any kind of media attention is worth the time that it takes you to get it. And this is just false, because it's really about the right kind of media attention. It's not just about any kind of attention. Because there are actually, depending on what your field is, there are actually certain types of media features that can actually do more damage to your business and your reputation than good. And again, it really depends on what your space is, but like, especially if you're like in an executive coaching space or an executive consultant space, it's really important to be cautious about what types of media you're going after, just so that so that things are dialed in, to really help. And the other common myth about like attracting clients through media features is just a little part of what we're going to be touching on today. But I wanted to get these myths out of the way because I feel like they're prevalent out there these days. So the third common myth is that you should spend 5 to 40 unpaid hours a week pitching media. And I don't know about you, but I don't have that amount of time, and I don't even pay my staff to take that amount of time to do that. So when you have a dialed in personal brand where you're established where your personal brand establishes you as the expert authority, the go-to expert authority in your space, in your industry, then what happens is that you can be very strategic, very direct, and spend very little time pitching media. And in fact, when you're in that positioning, a lot of what happens is media comes to you when you're positioned properly. So um, those are just some of the three myths that are out there these days. Wanted to get that off the slide. So who am I? Well, in a nutshell, I've been a celebrity branding and global business growth specialist for thought leaders and a maverick entrepreneur since 1997. I'm also known as the celebrity burnout coach because the work that I've done in the personal development space for the last 20 years has been significantly focused in that space for many years. That's a lot of people are focusing on burnout these days. The last couple years, especially, my work with that started about 20 years ago, and I actually went through a major burnout of my own in 2012, and so. My skill set and kind of my industry expertise is varied, in both the business development as well as the personal development ends of things. So it's just kind of a unique vantage point that I kind of come to things with. And my client list includes Academy and Grammy winners, New York Times bestselling authors, and globally recognized companies like Samsung, Dish Network, Polaris, Toro, US Bank, and way too many more to mention right here. So I've been featured on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, PBS, Forbes, and on the cover of Women's World magazine. I've also received an award from LinkedIn for being one of the top 5% all profiles viewed in a year. And actually, we just wrapped up, we just got the year-end stats, and we just had over, I just had over 1 million views on my LinkedIn profile for the previous year here that we just wrapped up. And so have another thing to add to the slide here. This is just a quick piece here showing my Women's World feature magazine. As you can see, there's a 2-page spread here, as well as my feature on the cover. Some of my client list: Academy Award winner Michael Douglas, New York Times bestselling author of the 401k Workbook, Dan Solon, and a lot others, a lot more from the last 25 years. So I'm also a professor of marketing, and I began teaching branding and marketing at other people's colleges in 2001 before I started my own business institute. So, and you can see me in the magazines, TV, radio. Here I am with a friend of mine from Ancient Aliens, and being interviewed by the History Channel here. And you can see me in all of these sources, all these places nowadays, but it really wasn't always this way because I was so focused on building my client's celebrity expert authority status that I was really in the background for many years. And I really just took, the behind the scenes kind of vantage point. But what started happening was that it really did affect my ability to scale my business. So then I just strategically started approaching things. And I mentioned it earlier that in 2012, I actually got burnt out by doing all the things that the so-called experts out there are telling you to do. So I was selling online products. I was doing a lot of one-off sessions. I was doing low-end sessions, the $100 sessions kind of thing, that kind of thing. That's what I was doing. Okay. I tried it. There were so many things that I tried, because I was just, trying to move forward from a consulting capacity, because I started off as a consultant in 1997, a marketing consultant. And I tried so many things when I was growing my business, and, including sessions. I did too many one-on-one sessions. I hosted low-end conferences and retreats. I actually was the creator and host and executive producer of the Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healers days at the Minneapolis Learning Annex. I worked with the Learning Annex for several years, actually, as an event producer with there. And, we had standing room only events but still there were only a certain amount of conversions that would happen from our events into the private coaching programs. So that was one of the things I took my time doing, as well as trying to build my podcast, my blog, and my social media following. And basically what happened is that, I had no time for myself or my family back in 2012. And I went through a burnout. And, it was part of that burnout that really led me to create VIP Global Business Institute and the entrepreneur training that I have been doing in recent years, because I needed to create two things for myself. I needed to create a time leveraging business system, and I needed to create celebrity authority status for myself in my business that I did not previously have. So my background, again, is doing that for celebrities and doing that for other people while I was in the background. So it's I mention this because I feel like, if you hear from, like kind of the real world experience of like how this all came to be for myself, it's a lot easier to kind of see how it can work for you. Because I'm from Minnesota. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm based in both Minneapolis as well as Las Vegas now at this point. My business has been based in both locations since 2013. But, I'm just from a small town outside of Minneapolis. And, I came from modest means, and, what I have in my business is what I've built. And so, so I didn't start off in Hollywood, with having like a ton of opportunities just handed to me everywhere. It was a matter of, really building to where what I have, what else. So during today's masterclass, I'm going to be focused on teaching you why building celebrity expert authority status in your industry helps to build the credibility and your business so that you can really run it without burning out. Because if there's one thing that I learned from the burnout that I experienced, it's that you can always add more to your to-do list as an entrepreneur, right? Like you check your email, right? And you might read your email and, oh my gosh, there's another 5 things I can do in my business, right? And then you check the email an hour later and, oh, here's another email telling me there's 5 more things that I should do in my business, right? And like by the end of the day, it's like so many entrepreneurs these days, if you're looking to grow in your business or get more clients or get media features or whatever it is your goals are, you just, toss a stone and somebody's calling themselves an internet business expert these days. And I'm just like, okay, well, I prefer to kind of come at it from the good old fashioned old school perspective of results and, not hype. One of the things about me, if you're looking for hype, please go elsewhere because I'm not hypey. I'm a professor of marketing. I really like strategy and I like having fun in business. But I also like looking at things from a very strategic standpoint and how can we get things dialed in so that you're not getting a list of 1,000 things to do when in all actuality you can achieve the same results with a list of 3 things to do. That's how I come at things because I'm interested in long-term success for my clients. So that's how we're gonna get going here. So really, there's just a better way to achieve your business goals and to have a life too. And having celebrity expert authority status, having an expert authority personal brand, that's what I call a celebrity style personal brand. It's important before you get featured in the media or before you get any additional media features. And this is something that can actually just help you across the board, because what a celebrity style personal brand does is it positions you before you enter the room. Okay. It really helps to establish your authority in that space before you enter. And what that means is that it helps you be more efficient with your time. I'm just gonna grab one quick thing here before we get started, or before I go on to this next slide. So basically, oh, here, and I'm gonna show you this really quick thing. Because a lot of people ask me, about media, because media is part of creating a celebrity expert authority personal brand. It's not the only thing though, but it is a piece. So I like to focus on what results are, not just, flashy, right? So an example of this and how things can work when you've got a dialed in celebrity style personal brand, is that this feature that I mentioned, for the Women's World feature, where it's featured on the cover, it actually netted $11,000 profit within 24 hours after it hit the newsstand, because of the personal brand that I had built, number one, and the PR monetization funnel that I built for it. And what I mean by that is that my feature in this magazine was very strategically created, in terms of, like, we were strategic about how we had them put certain links onto the magazine feature itself. And because of that, we were able to generate $11,000 in profit within 24 hours. And it generated more after that, but I just focus on that first initial piece, because when you have prominent media features, and when you have any kind of media feature, whether or not you're going to profit from it really depends on, the authority that your personal brand has. Because I will tell you this, most of the other people that were featured in that exact same magazine were not making any money from being featured in that magazine. Okay. And I reached out to some of them, and so got that from them firsthand. And so it's really about, having it all dialed in, very strategically, to work with things. So again, we talked earlier about the common myths about attracting clients and media features. I'm just going to touch on this briefly again. First myth is that media features automatically make you an industry celebrity and bring clients to you. Not necessarily. This is all about having it strategically dialed in, and it's about what you do with it. Second myth is that any kind of media attention is worth the time that it takes for you to get it. It really is about the right kind of attention, not just any kind of attention. Okay. And the other myth is that you should take, 5 to 40 unpaid hours a week pitching media. Again, I'm a professor of marketing. I like to work with what works, and, not time wasting. So, those are some of the biggest myths that are there in the world today. So why celebrity branding helps you attract clients and media features without burning out. Now, creating a celebrity style personal brand is really something that can really just position you as the go-to authority expert in your industry. And what this helps you do is this can help you to stop trying to prove yourself to clients. Okay. Do any of you ever find yourself in the position where you're maybe talking to somebody in social media, or talking to somebody who's reached out to you, and you feel like you kind of have to prove yourself to them? Like they're kind of talking to you like, what do you have that so and so doesn't have, or what do you have, or what can you offer? Or it's kind of like a push, and it's almost like a push kind of a thing where where kind of they're approaching you from a perspective, and putting you in the position where you almost feel like you have to defend your expertise kind of thing. Have you ever been in that position? Because I know that a lot of people, a lot of experts that I've worked with throughout the years, even people who have like major street cred, okay, in terms of like a lot of media, millions of followers, it doesn't matter, because if the person that you're on the phone with hasn't seen all of your followers, or if they haven't seen all of your media, then it doesn't matter. If you have all of that, those there can still be people out there that are just kind of like why you kind of thing, and it's kind of an energy of like really just prove yourself, and when you have a celebrity style personal brand, what happens is that you are no longer in the position of needing to prove yourself, because your personal brand walks ahead of you. It's like your personal entourage. It's like the red carpet that is like laid out in front of you, in terms of it pre-positions you. It pre-positions you before you get on the phone with people, before you start the sales conversation, whatever that sales conversation is. It really helps to present that. So that's the first thing that it does. It positions you as a go-to authority in your industry, so that you can really just stop trying to prove yourself to clients and media and the like. And the second thing that celebrity branding does is it helps you create a personal branding message that's dialed in and intentionally crafted to speak to your ideal audience. Because when the attention that you're getting from media and industry associations and social media and the people that are reaching out to you, when that happens and when it's dialed in, when your personal branding messages are really dialed in, you're able to attract your ideal clients and not just the vanity followers. And vanity followers are people who follow you but don't pay you. Okay. So that's the second thing that it does. And the third thing that it does, the third reason why having a celebrity style personal brand really just helps you attract clients and media features without burning out, is because it helps you work smarter and, again, in less time. Like you've heard, I am a fan of that. I'm a fan of efficiency. It helps you work smarter, not harder. Because when you know exactly what to say and how to say it to convert leads into clients and media pitches into media features, you are able to make the conversions happen much more easily and much more efficiently without wasting so much time each day and each week. Because if there's one thing, that I know about being an entrepreneur, it's that you can always add more to your to-do list, right? And so what we want to do, what I help people do, is I help you dial in on what are those things, what are those pieces of your personal brand that can be defined and crafted to help you present the best foot forward to your ideal target audience, so that you are able to create what I call a celebrity style personal brand that really just helps to establish you as the go-to authority expert in your industry. So again, it's like it acts like that red carpet in front of you, where it itself positions you. So by the time you're getting on the phone with people, they essentially already have an understanding of what your positioning is, that you are the go-to expert. And that's the reason behind it. And just so you know, I talked a little bit about the evolutionary psychology around personal branding as a celebrity. And I will dive into that here just briefly. So the evolutionary psychology that's really connected to celebrity is, it's all about influence. Okay. So here's an example that I like to give. So let's look at two farmers, and the year is 1500. Okay. And we've got two farmers in a small town. And one farmer is named Paul, and the other farmer is named John. So the farmer Paul kind of goes into town throughout the year, and he's just kind of quieter, keeps to himself. When he does talk to people, it's just kind of small talk, chit chat kind of a thing. Okay. And then Farmer John throughout the year, he has a strategy. Okay. Farmer John has a strategy of intentionally talking to people. he goes and he makes conversation about farming. And so he goes around, when he goes into town, he goes and talks to people at the local bar, the mercantile, and things like that. And he starts talking to people about, hey, have you heard the latest irrigation technique? Or, hey, have you heard the latest, trend for planting peas 6 inches deep rather than 3, kind of thing. And he's talking to people, or, hey, how's your planting going, for this moon cycle? Hey, how's this going? Right. So that's Farmer John. And so let's fast forward to, throughout the whole year, and let's fast forward to September, when the harvest time is going to begin. Now, each one of these farmers has a whole farm full of crops that need to be harvested within about a week's period of time in order to prep it for winter so that their families can eat for the winter. Okay. So let's imagine right now that we have both Farmer Paul and Farmer John are at the same time looking for 20 volunteers to come to each of their farms. Now, Farmer Paul, who's just been kind of like, quiet and hasn't been doing much to help his personal brand, so to speak, he goes to try to find volunteers. And then Farmer John, who's been outgoing, who's been very strategic about how he's approaching people, how he's positioning himself in the culture, in the community, he goes to look for 20 volunteers. Now, who do you think is going to have an easier time getting those 20 volunteers to help come and harvest all of those crops so that his family can eat for the entire winter? If you mentioned Farmer John, you are correct. Okay. So right there is an example of the evolutionary psychology around celebrity style personal branding. Because when you have strategy and you have influence, you have the ability to feed your family. Okay. You have the ability to command more influence in business when you have a celebrity style personal brand than when you don't. And celebrity is just a modern term that we use today. But essentially it means influence. It's another way of saying influence. And really it's just a way of dialing things into your personal brand messaging and your business messaging so that it really already, it walks ahead of you. So that it really just showcases, what your capabilities are, so that by the time you're getting on the phone with people or having potential client conversations, your personal brand is already working for you. And one of the really cool things I love about personal branding is that it's not just a one-off tactic. Social media, the different networks, they come and they go. It's always going to happen. Same with individual tactics for, all kinds of different things for, like, let's say an email campaign or an event or a conference or something like that, right? Those are one-off tactics. They come and they go. The thing that I really love about personal branding is that it's like a snowball, and it works for the rest of your life. So you start working on it now, and then what starts to happen is it starts to build and build and build and just pick up momentum throughout the years. And it's one of the very few things in business that is actually time tested. And really it's a lifelong legacy type of thing, because even, if you have a legacy type of business, it's something that can carry on, after you cross over as well. So that's one of the things I love about personal branding and how it can really help you achieve the results that you want in your business in a way that's different than a lot of other tactics, because it's not in and of itself just a tactic. It's more of an overarching strategy, and you can fit tactics, business tactics inside of it. And that's really one of the things that I love about personal branding, is that it's a time tested, long-term type of thing. And if you've learned anything about me at this point in time in the in this class, I'm really just about results, and I'm about the things that are time tested and long-term. Because if you're going to put time and effort into building something, for me, I would rather have that be something that can stand the test of time rather than being something that's just a flash in the pan kind of, thing that might only work for a month or two or a year or two or something like that. Kind of a thing. So those are the three pieces as to why, really creating a celebrity style personal brand helps you to attract clients and media features, and really just helps you to build your business and attract the kind of clients that that you are interested in attracting. It's about having it be very strategically dialed in. And another note on this is also that a lot of people approach personal branding from the perspective of that it's all about them. It's not. Okay. This is a misnomer. This is one of those things. And this is how most people approach personal branding. Most people approach personal branding from that perspective of that it's all about you as the expert. And it's not all about you as the expert. It's all about you and how you interact with your target audience. It's that intersection in between the two, because there's who you are as a person, right? And that is undefinable because there are so many different aspects to you as a unique individual, right? But when it comes to your business presence, what we want is we want to showcase your business presence in a way that connects to the ideal target audience. Just like how we were talking about the candy bars earlier, right? Well, there are different types of candy bars for different types of people. There's different types of candy bars for different age groups. Okay. There's the candy that's targeted towards kids. There's the candy that's targeted towards teenagers, and then towards adults, and then adults with refined taste. There's all of these different ones. And so many people are approaching branding from the perspective of that they're trying to sell who they are to everyone. Number one, it's not about trying to sell who you are, because there's no price on you. You are one of a kind, unique individual. Okay. Personal branding isn't about selling you. Personal branding is about showcasing why it is that you are an expert at what you do. Okay. And showcasing that in a way and having it strategically dialed in so that what you're doing is that you are connecting that message, and that message is being directed to who your ideal target audience is. And who your ideal target audience is not everybody. It's not. In today's world, if you're trying to go after everybody, you're going to attract nobody. That's how it works these days, because the experts industry itself is oversaturated. It is. And why is this? Because I've been in business a long time, since before it was oversaturated. It did not used to be oversaturated. Here is why it's oversaturated. Smartphone. This is why the experts industry, this is the number one reason that the experts industry is oversaturated. The experts industry is oversaturated these days because all someone needs to do to call themselves an expert is to have a smartphone, film a video, and upload it to any number of social media outlets. Okay. You can make a website for free these days. Okay. Back when I started, my company started developing websites back in 1997, back in dinosaur times, as a lot of people call it. And I mean, we were working, $150,000 websites were our average, for client fulfillment, for projects. And so, let's put those things together. So the experts industry is oversaturated because, got the smartphone, so you can film videos, for very cheap, upload them for very cheap. You don't have the bandwidth issues that we used to deal with. And then, you can make a website for free. And so what does that do for all of the bona fide experts out there? Well, unfortunately, what it does is it oversaturates the experts industry. And that's one of the reasons that I do what I do when it comes to celebrity style personal branding, because the goal with celebrity style personal branding is to really help you be able to directly communicate to your ideal target audience, and get conversions, and really just be heard in a sea of noise, because there's so many people out there. It's not about competing for attention. It's about really being strategic about what are those things that really set you apart, and how to be dialed in to attract the right kind of attention from your ideal target audience. So I'm going to be getting to questions here in just a moment. And first, I'm going to let you know about what's next if you are interested in having my personal help to build your celebrity expert authority status in your business. And first of all, I will mention that my programs at VIP Global Business Institute and Celebrity Branding Academy, they're not for everybody. Right now, they are exclusive and they are by invitation only. So my programs are for those who are action takers. They're willing to step up and stop playing small in their business. And they are for those who want to create true time leverage in their business and be able to charge high-end rates. And our programs are not for those who are lazy or unwilling to do the work. They're not for those who want to just play the extras roles in their lives or their businesses. And they're not for those who only want to charge low-end rates forever. I believe that low-end rates have a time and place. And if you're somebody who wants to be able to always charge low-end rates, there is a way where you can do both, where you can charge low-end rates as an intro kind of a program, and then also high-end rates of over $3,000 per project or client as well. So you can do like a combination of the two. But I just like to mention that really quickly and go from there. So I have 3 different clients, and the first one is called Celebrity Branding Bootcamp. Now, Celebrity Branding Bootcamp is my 4-week online mastermind program where you get my personal help with creating a celebrity style personal brand along with cohorts in your small group. And to see if you are a good candidate for Celebrity Branding Bootcamp, you can go to vipglobalbusinessinstitute.com/call to book just a 15-minute triage call. And what we do on the call is we actually do a brand assessment and take a look at your personal brand that you have right now, and just chat about it. And I give you my feedback and let you know what what my thoughts are about the personal brand that you have right now, and what my thoughts are about what we might be able to help you do and create if you are if we were to extend an invitation for Celebrity Branding Bootcamp. It is an invitation only program, so this is actually not a sales call. It's more of a call to just kind of see where you're at in your business and see what makes sense. And I am going to be having some of these calls, and then my team is also going to be taking some of these calls as well. So when you get to the scheduling area, I think you'll be able to see who your call is going to be with. So that we can, make sure to, take a look at your personal brand that you have right now and just kind of see where that's at. So my client journey is called VIP Global Client Formula. And this is my signature 8-week online mastermind program. Again, it's invitation only. And this is where I help you personally evolve your business model to create a time leveraging high-end online group coaching or training program where you're going to be charging at least $3,000 to $10,000 plus. And so that's called a high-end offer. And then you're also going to be developing what I call an ultra high-end offer, which is $25,000 plus as well. So the VIP Global Client Formula program also includes Celebrity Branding Bootcamp. So VIP Global Client Formula is for those who are really interested in creating time leveraging in their business and they don't already have these pieces in place. So basically, VIP Global Client Formula program is where I'm helping people to create and build celebrity empires, because we're helping you to build every aspect of your business, including strategizing, where you're, if you're doing keynote talks, where you're doing those, strategizing media, and things like that. So that's VIP Global Client Formula. And again, you can book a call at the same link, vipglobalbusinessinstitute.com/call. And again, that's a 15-minute call just to kind of have a chat for a few minutes and see if it's a fit, to work together, and just to see if it's a fit to extend an invitation, because that is an invitation only program as well. And the third way that I help thought leaders is through my mentorship, my holistic success coaching, and my global business and marketing consulting. This way is one of those, just in case. Most people fit within the first two areas, either Celebrity Branding Bootcamp or VIP Global Client Formula. Every so often I come across a company that wants like help with the company's branding as well. And so I just mentioned that third way as a private consulting journey as well. And again, you can book a call at the same link. It'll again either be with myself or one of my team members, really just depending on the schedule. And it's just a quick 15-minute call to just determine if anything actually makes sense, and to see if it would make sense to have to chat further about working together in some capacity. So again, that link for booking a call is vipglobalbusinessinstitute.com/call15. And after that call, if you're interested in chatting further, then we can schedule another call to chat further about what the next steps are in your business. And we do this because, we just like to have an initial call. It's not a sales call. There's actually nothing for sale in the call. It's really just to see if it's a good fit to continue chatting at that point. So as Morpheus from the Matrix movie says, this is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, and you wake up in your bed and believe whatever it is you want to believe. You take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. So booking a call, booking a triage call, and having a business breakthrough discovery session is like taking the red pill, because what we're doing in there is we're just looking at what the possibilities are, and really just going from there and seeing what those possibilities are, and how it might work to how it might be a fit to work together. So with that said, the choice is up to you, and really it's about allowing yourself the gift of doing the things that help your business be easier. And with that, you can choose to have today be that day that changes everything for the better in your business, so that you can have less stress, and what I say is a greater sense of peace, flow, ease, and holistic success in your life. So with that said, have a wonderful rest of your day, and cheers to love, health, wealth, and the time to enjoy it. Till next time.